In this midweek analysis video, we are going to review the signals which we have sent here last Saturday in the weekly analysis video and continue analyzing the market and see what we can do in the remaining days of this week. So again, before we start, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and kindly leave a comment and share the video. So regarding the EURUSD, as you can see, it has indeed went in the right direction, but sadly has not been triggered. So what a bummer. EURUSD went in the expected direction, but now what we can expect next with this pair. First of all, deleting the entire thing, and let's now reanalyze the pair. So based on daily chart, as we can see, actually I would like to move even to the weekly chart. So right now we have here the weekly candle. Now the weekly candle shows that the market actually has failed to retest the broken level of a resistance and to respect the previous level of a real support exactly at 1.167, which indicates, as we can see, a continuation in the bearish fall. So failing in retesting the previous level of a resistance and in respecting the previous support, as we can see, the market has actually indeed kept falling below these levels. So again, all of that indicates a continuation in the bearish momentum. So let me just now please move to the daily chart. Now here on daily chart, what we can see is a resistance trend line number 1, number 2, number 3. As you can see, just like that. So that means that the previous level of a resistance, as we have indicated in the left side, actually here on the weekly chart, as you can see, this level of a resistance, most likely it will be respected, because eventually what we have right now here is a fake breakout, and that means that the real level of a resistance, let me just tell you, if you have a real level of a resistance faced a fake breakout candles like what happened here, it's usually indicating that the market right now is getting ready to continue the rise to reach the same level of a real resistance, and after that here exactly we can consider to sell, and most likely it will be hopefully a good trade. That's why I'm suggesting to sell the EURUSD exactly right here at the same level of a resistance. Not only that, but also if we look at the resistance trend line number 1, number 2, number 3, and the fake breakout happened, we can now expect from the market to continue the rise and hopefully respect the same level of a resistance trend line as well. So that being said, I would recommend to sell the EURUSD exactly right here, to be precise. Let me just tell you right here exactly at 1.164. Why? Because here we have the nearest resistance to that bearish breakout candle, and that's in Xtreme Trader our strategy in finding the next trades. However, if we continue selling from this level, I suggest to continue the sell until the market reaches the lowest level of a real support at 1.147, which was in the past also a resistance, as we can see here, and also here as a support. However, we can actually by that aim around 165 pips profit with this signal, and the safe zone in this case that shouldn't be ranging higher than the previous level of a support and a resistance as well at 1.171, which means our safe zone will be ranging for around 70 pips against 166 pips of profit. And that will be all for the EURUSD. Let's now move to the Pound USD. Pound USD, as we can see, has also indeed went in the right direction, but sadly hasn't been triggered. So now what we can expect next with this pair. Now, as you can see, if we move right now to the daily chart, now the Pound USD has actually made here a bearish breakout from this long-term support trend line. As we can see, here we had a real level of a support trend line, faced a fake breakout again, and notice that the market has indeed respected only the real level of a support trend line, ignoring this fake breakout. However, the Pound USD has indeed just made now the bearish breakout from this level, and as we can see right now, the market is rising, of course, upon the pressure of the current support at 1.338. Now, where exactly we can continue selling the Pound USD? In my opinion, the best level to start selling this pair will be exactly right here at 1.346. Why? Because as you can see here, we had a real level of a resistance which has already become a support, and also a real level of a resistance. Now, more importantly also, as we can see here, we have already attempt of a resistance number 1. This wick right here represents a resistance. Remember, I'm actually right now on daily chart. So meaning This week right here is a resistance alone. Therefore, I'm suggesting to resell the pound USD exactly right on this second attempt of a resistance on the same level, which means we have to wait for the market to rise to another 71 pips before we can start shorting it. However, if we sell from that area, I suggest to continue the sell till the market reach the lowest level of a real support at 1.326, and the safe zone in this case that shouldn't be ranging higher than the previous level of a resistance and a real level of a support as well at 1.356, and that means our target will be around 210 pips of profit against 88 pips of a safe zone. That will be all for the pound USD. Let's now please move to the AUD USD. Alright, so again guys, please remember that this midweek analysis is just actually reviewing or actually resuming the signals which we have sent here last Saturday. Therefore, I'm not really going to reanalyze all pairs again. And as we can see, this was the AUD USD signal, and the market has reversed exactly from Fibonacci 61.8 as we can see right here. Therefore, I would like to adjust our signal for the remaining days of this week to be exactly again at Fibonacci 61.8. Why? Because the market is actually still facing here a lot of pressure at the previous level of a resistance at the bracket of 0.650. As we can see here, we have a real level of a resistance, and right here after the bullish breakout happened, the market has actually here created a real level of a support number 1, real level of a support number 2, and again right now on the third attempt. Therefore, we can expect right now a pullback to happen. However, I'm still expecting, upon the previous analysis on last Saturday, that the AUDUSD most likely will continue the fall. Let me just explain it again here for the sake of the new followers, because again here we have a real level of a resistance trend line as we can see like that, and we are actually expecting from the pair to continue the rise and most likely won't actually be able to break out from that channel that we have here as we can see. Therefore, reselling the AUDUSD exactly at Fibonacci 61.8. Let me just edit the sell to be at 0.657, and adjusting the edge of the safe zone to be just like that. And of course, we will also keep the same take profit level, which means, oops, 1 second. Let me just edit this one. So we will keep the same take profit level, expecting around 100 pips of profit against 60 pips of a safe zone. That will be all for the AUDUSD. Let's now move to the USDCAD. USDCAD is still rising as we can see. I believe it was actually due to the core CPI news yesterday we had, and remember my friends, today also we have the PPI news. However, what can we expect next now with the USDCAD? As you can see, the signal sadly has not been triggered, and USDCAD just simply kept rising. So now where exactly we can continue buying the USDCAD, because I still believe it's going to continue the rise. If we look right now at daily chart, now as you can see, the market is actually ranging at the real level of a resistance at the bracket of 1.372. However, now as we can see, we here also have a very strong key level of a support that cannot be simply ignored. Right here exactly at 1.368. Why? Here we had, of course, a real level of a support that became a resistance number 1, then again a support again, then again a resistance, and right now it became a support. So as we can see the harmony here in this shape, and also we cannot ignore the double bottom pattern that we have right here. All of that indicates that the USDCAD most likely will continue the rise, and more importantly is the broken level of a resistance trend line as we can see. So usually the market tempts, if it had actually a broken level of a resistance trend line, and here we have of course the bullish breakout from that area, is to continue the rise till the market reaches the strongest key level of a resistance in the structure at 1.393, and after that we can actually consider selling right there. So until then, I'm suggesting to continue buying the USDCAD. That being said, well, let's move right now to the 4-hour time frame. And as you can see here, based on the 4-hour time frame, we have here a broken level of a resistance, as we can see exactly right here at 1.370. However, more importantly, if we look at the left, here we have, of course, a strong key level of a real support that most likely won't be ignored. Therefore, we have to wait for the pair to fall to another 10 pips only. Wow, that's going to be good. Actually, I would like even to lower my expectations to be right here exactly. Why here? Because one of our strategies in Xtreme trader is to always buy at the nearest wick of the resistance to that bullish breakout candle. So as we can see, we are actually expecting this level at 1.369 to be the best level to continue buying. And also remember that here also we have the nearest level of a support to that bullish breakout candle, which makes buying at 1.369 more convenient. Therefore, our safe zone in this case, my friends, should not actually be ranging lower than the previous level of a real support at 1.365, which means our safe zone will be ranging for only 41 pips. And in this case, I'm suggesting to continue the buy till the market reach the highest level of a real resistance at 1.379, which means our target is going to be ranging for around 101 pips against 41 pips of a safe zone. And that will be all for the USDCAD. Let's now move to the USDJPY. So as we can see, my friends, USDJPY has also barely been triggered. I mean, look at that. The market has reversed exactly by 5 pips only from our considered buy at 146.777. What a bummer. Come on, give it to me, guys. Even 6 pips. And as you can see, it went in over 180 pips of profit. I don't know if I can actually claim this signal, but what I will say, to be fair with you and with myself as well, is that as a signal, maybe we can say no, it hasn't been triggered, seller, but as analysis, it's a different story because the market has actually went exactly as we predicted. So therefore, we can say as analysis, it worked very well, but as a signal, maybe not. However, what can we expect now with the USDJPY? That's the question. If we move right now to the daily chart, now the USDJPY has actually just made here a very strong bullish breakout from the structure, as we can see right here, between 148.302 and 140.411, and that means that the USDJPY, in my opinion, has actually a greater chances to continue the fall to retest the broken level of a structure or a resistance at 148.046. Not only that, but if we look right here at the left side, we can notice that we had here also a real level of a support as well. So for that reason, I'm actually suggesting to rebuy the USDJPY exactly at 148.144. But for the sake of confirmations, let's now try to get more confirmation on that. So what we can do right now is simply draw here a support trend line from this lower low to this higher low, just like that. Remember, my friends, what I'm about to use right now is a strategy used in Xtreme Trader channel called the magic of trend lines. There are tons of videos on my channel explaining this strategy. So what he will do right now is simply drag the same line that we have just drawn here and simply place it right on the next level of a real support or actually a resistance trend line. So as we can see here, we have the nearest level of a resistance trend line or a key resistance trend line to that bullish breakout candle. Not only that, but if I move to the 4-hour time frame as well, pay attention. The same line, guys, as you can see, was here a support trend line, as you can see. And if I even scroll more to the left side, we can notice here, of course, this was a very strong key level of a support trend line. Indicates that the USDJPY have a great chances to fall down a little bit more and hopefully will respect the same level of a previous support trend line, which was also here a previous level of a support exactly at 148.144. If we buy from this level, I would consider to continue the buy till the market reach the highest level of a real resistance, as we can see at 150.120, expecting around 100, let's say around 200 pips of profit. However, the safe zone in this case shouldn't actually be ranging lower than the previous level of a support right here exactly at 147.315, which will be ranging for around 80 pips only against almost 200 pips of profit. And that will be all, my friends, for the midweek analysis. And please, in the end, don't forget to join our free channel of Telegram to receive any updates about these signals that you are receiving here on YouTube. And you can also get to try our VIP signals on Telegram. And also, you can get one free signal every day on the free channel. Here is our free channel, Xtreme Trader Signals. And to make it easier, you can just simply join through the link you can find in the description below of this video. So until then, my friends, I hope that was informative to you, and I would like to thank you for watching.